The deadline looming on Elon Musk's ultimatum for federal employees, workers being asked to justify the work they've done. Plus, mostly cloudy skies out there this morning with temperatures in the 30s and 40s, warmer than last week, and temperatures even warmer into the weekend. And a car crash killing 3 mid-Missouri women. What we're learning about them and the details of that crash. That tops our Nonstop News.
KOMU 8's Nonstop News and First Alert Weather starts now.
3 recent graduates from a mid-Missouri high school are dead after a crash in Vernon County. The Climax Springs School District Superintendent confirmed the deaths to KOMU 8 last night. And KOMU 8's Annabelle Wooster is here in the studio with more on the victims and the details of that crash. Hey, Annabelle, good morning.
Good morning, Sarah. These women behind me, 19-year-old Ava Wolf, 21-year-old Jaden Butterfield, and 18-year-old Violet Corrado, are among those who died in Friday's crash. The women were on their way back from a basketball game at Northeast Vernon County High School. Their car was being driven by a 49-year-old man from Camdenton who didn't stop at a stop sign. The car was then hit by an SUV and pushed off of the road where it struck a tree and a fence. The driver of the SUV also died at the scene. 3 other adults are being treated for serious injuries, and 3 other teenagers suffered minor to moderate injuries. Wolf and Butterfield were not only recent graduates, but also employees of the Climax Springs R4 school district. A Facebook post from the district said the 3 women, quote, left a legacy within our school. The district will have counselors available for both students and staff today and tomorrow. In the studio, Annabelle Wooster, KOMU 8 News.
Okay, thanks, Annabelle. Police arrested a Columbia woman in connection to an assault. 35-year-old Brianna Boone was arrested under charges of first-degree domestic assault, armed criminal action, and unlawful use of a weapon. Police responded to the assault early yesterday morning on Mayflower Drive. That's where they found a man with serious injuries. He's in the hospital in serious condition. A man is dead after falling onto the tracks of a Metrolink train in St. Louis. The accident happened at a station near the Enterprise Center just after the Blues game on Saturday. A police spokesperson says the man was in an unauthorized area when he stepped over a retaining wall. Witnesses say he tried to jump back over the wall but stumbled backwards and fell onto the track. Turning now to your national news. Shockwaves through the federal workforce as employees grapple with a call to justify their jobs. An email to federal workers on Saturday came from the Office of Personnel Management. It asked employees to explain in bullet points the work they did last week. Many are alarmed since Elon Musk announced that a, quote, failure to respond will be taken as a resignation. NASA officials are working on how employees should respond to the Office of Personnel Management email. Nikki Fox, the head of NASA's Science Mission Directorate, told employees it was a, quote, opportunity to showcase the great work we do. In a follow-up email, Fox told workers not to submit their response until further guidance from a supervisor. Several national security agencies, including the FBI, advised staffers not to respond immediately. There are major changes coming to USAID's workforce. The agency says it's cutting the U.S.-based workforce by about 1,600 employees. It comes after a decision from a federal judge on Friday allowing the Trump administration to fire the USAID staffers. Designated essential personnel who are expected to continue working will also be informed by agency leadership. President Trump named conservative talk show host Dan Bongino as deputy director of the FBI. Bongino will work alongside newly confirmed FBI director Kash Patel. The deputy director position does not need Senate confirmation. Bongino is a former Secret Service agent who is highly critical of the Secret Service after the 2 assassination attempts against President Trump during his run for the White House last year. Today marks the 3rd anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, and Russia launched its largest drone attack on Kyiv over the weekend. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russia launched more than 200 drones in an overnight attack yesterday, the largest of the war so far. Ukraine's Air Force says more than 130 of those drones were downed and the rest disappeared from radars. Russia also launched 3 ballistic missiles. The attacks killed at least 1 person and damaged buildings and cars. Zelensky says he's willing to resign to get Ukraine NATO membership. Zelensky's offer is a major concession amid a public dispute with President Trump. That escalated when Trump suggested the Ukrainian president was responsible for starting the war. He made the remarks during a press conference in Kyiv. Take a listen.
If it guarantees peace for Ukraine, if you really need me to resign, I am ready. I can exchange it for NATO.
Zelensky also commented on the ongoing discussions surrounding a peace deal with Russia, saying Ukraine must be involved.
It is important to understand that this is not the negotiations table that Ukraine is invited to. It is our table because the war is in Ukraine. We want to end this war. The partners want Russia to be there, and Russia will be there.
Several government leaders, like Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, traveled to Ukraine to mark the anniversary. Thousands gathered as Hezbollah held a mass funeral for its former leader. He led the Iran-backed militant group for more than 30 years. The ceremony took place yesterday at Lebanon's largest sports arena. He was temporarily buried next to his son after being killed in an Israeli strike on Beirut last September. The Vatican says Pope Francis remains in critical condition with blood tests showing mild signs of kidney failure. The Pope is battling pneumonia in both of his lungs. The Vatican says Pope Francis has not shown additional respiratory crises since Saturday evening. Despite signs of kidney failure, the Vatican says the Pope continues to be, quote, vigilant and well-oriented.
One of the hardest things the doctors have had to do this past week or so in Gemelli Clinic is he always wanted to get up. He said, put me in my wheelchair and let me go visit some of the other patients. Because he doesn't want the attention. He wanted to go see them and console them and bless them and pray with them.
In the text of yesterday's sermon, the Pope said his treatment continues and he thanked medical staff for their dedication. An American Airlines flight traveling from New York to New Delhi was diverted to Rome for security reasons. The plane was escorted by 2 Italian Air Force fighter jets when it arrived in Italian airspace. A source familiar with the situation told NBC News the security threat aboard the flight was a bomb threat. The source says the threat was sent via email. The rise in measles cases across the country is sparking concern. Over the weekend, cases in Texas grew to 90, with almost 10 cases confirmed in New Mexico. It's the largest measles outbreak in Texas in 30 years. Medical experts say the increase in cases is due to the decline in vaccine rates. One medical professional says the outbreak is extremely concerning, especially taking into account cases that are not confirmed or reported.
This is a very serious and very dangerous measles epidemic. From colleagues on the ground there that there may be many more cases that still haven't yet been confirmed.
And while the vaccine won't prevent you from getting the measles, doctors say symptoms will be less severe if you are vaccinated. We're continuing to celebrate Black History Month in mid-Missouri, and people from across the community and across the country gathered at the St. Luke United Methodist Church in Columbia for Gospel Explosion last night. It was a celebration of Black history through prayer, food, and music. The featured vocalist says Black History Month is a time for everyone to reflect on our past and look forward to a future of more inclusion.
What is Black history to you and to every American? Because Black history is American history. And it's something that everybody should carry with them, to take this time and think, what am I missing? What piece of the story have I not thought about? And who around me am I not seeing? Can I take them along with me?
The St. Luke United Methodist Church partners with Columbia Parks and Rec to host the annual Gospel Explosion and Soul Food Dinner on the 4th Sunday of February. All are welcome to attend. ESPN currently has Missouri women's hoops slated as a 15 seed in the SEC tournament. They've got 2 games left to improve that position, though, after last night's game against Ole Miss. In the final minutes of the first half, the Tigers were up 40-30, but Ole Miss responded, ending the third quarter up 8 points. With just 2 minutes left, the Tigers come back to send the game into overtime, but ultimately the Tigers fall 68-66. Men's basketball coach Dennis Gates says the team will have to do better on the road. That comes after this weekend's loss to Arkansas. The Tigers were riding high after beating fourth-ranked Alabama before the Razorbacks brought them crashing down in a 92-85 loss. Missouri was up 8 at the half thanks to a buzzer beater from Marquez Warwick, but could not keep a handle on the ball. Arkansas scored 30 points off of 18 Missouri turnovers, and it's a statistic Coach Gates was not pleased with.
We had a lot of turnovers to begin the game. They obviously did a great job. We had 5 turnovers on the first 9 possessions, and they built a 10-4 lead. You can't win on the road like that, and we got to do a better job.
The Tigers are looking to rebound at home tomorrow against South Carolina.
Mostly cloudy skies out there for you this morning. Temperatures are sitting in the 30s and 40s, 38 in Columbia, 39 at the Capitol, 39 in Eldon, 44 in Sedalia, 42 in Versailles. Winds are out of the south and west, 5 to 10 miles an hour. And I think we'll see gusts up to about 20 miles an hour as we go through the day today. But because of the winds, feel like temperatures are just a little bit colder than actual temperatures. Feels like 32 in Columbia this morning. So go ahead and grab that medium cup of hot coffee on this chilly Monday morning. Temperatures will climb into the upper 50s and lower 60s. I think we get a mix of sun and clouds as we go through the afternoon hours, and I think we're above average the rest of the week. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s, overnight lows above freezing for a lot of us most nights. Much better than what we had last week. No bitter cold this week. 62 tomorrow, 57 on Wednesday, 56 on Thursday, 60s on Friday, 50s into the weekend. Minimal rain chances too, besides maybe a few showers Wednesday morning.
Why did the alligator cross the road? Well, it certainly wasn't just to help this turtle get to the other side. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service shared the video of this moment a gator stopped traffic at a national wildlife refuge. The reptile walking across the street while latching onto a turtle with its teeth. Okay, do alligators eat turtles? Because I have a bad feeling that this whole thing doesn't end well for the turtle. Unless he's just lending a helping hand and helping a fellow reptile cross the street.
That's my thought. That's what I'm going to go with, because I feel like it's hard to get turtles, right? Because they're in the shells.
Oh, that is true.
You know, that's kind of the point of the shell, I think.
Maybe he was just trying to help out.
That's what we're going with.
Yes.
The turtle is fine.
Yes, some good news. Well, we're making it up, but hopefully some good news for the turtle on Monday morning.
Absolutely.
Beth and I will be back at 7:25. Coming up on the Today Show, who needs more sleep each night? Men or women? A new study sparking a big conversation. They're standing by in New York as they get ready for the show. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. The Today Show is coming up next.